Hey, I'm Issa from Forage SF, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about what's in your forage box this week, which is very exciting. First off are these black truffles from Italy, which are super delicious. We had a similar truffle earlier in the season, but this one is a lot more mature, so the aroma is really delicious. So what we're going to do tonight is just make a pasta with it, which is it's a really nice way to work with them. You know, you could do a risotto that's also really delicious, but with truffles you don't want to cook them because if they're over 150 degrees, the aroma, which is kind of the whole point of truffles, actually cooks out. So what we're going to do is just shave them over a pasta tonight. Another thing we have in here are these black trumpet mushrooms, dried black trumpets, which are a really nice winter mushroom in the Bay Area. And we're going to put that in the pasta too. And these are a really exciting thing that I even personally have never found, which are these cauliflower mushrooms, which, I mean, for years I've been mushroom foraging and I've never actually seen them. We're gonna saute those up. And you're also gonna get these guys, which are these little nori flakes from Daybreak Seaweed, which is a really cool little company that actually used to work out of Forage Kitchen. And they collect their stuff up in Sonoma. It's a couple women own it, and it's really good. Just kind of sprinkled on anything, just like a little taste of the sea wherever you go. So the first thing we're gonna do is wash these guys. So as you can see, maybe you can't see, but if you can see, there's lots of little stuffs in there. So you got some pine needles, a little bit of dirt. And if you do find these in the woods, you could have some little critters in there. And that's just kind of part of the deal. So what is a good way to wash these is actually dunk them into water. I've also heard a suggestion of dunking them into salt water. And that's if you do think there might be some little critters in there. That's really a good way to get them out. But I think these are pretty clean. It's just a lot of dirt and what have you. So what's good to do here is kind of pop them apart. Give them a little rinse in the water. And with all mushrooms, when you're washing them like this, rather than pouring the water out, it's really good to lift them out of the water, because then you're leaving all the dirt and pine needles and what have you in there. And if you have a teeny bit of dirt, it's not the end of the world, you know. These grow in the woods, it's kind of part of the fun. Okay, so like I was saying, lift them out. Okay. And then we're gonna dry saute these, which is a really good technique with all wild mushrooms. It's really good to dry saute them, is basically just cooking them without any oil or anything. Because otherwise, there's a lot of moisture in here right now. So you want to get that out, or mushrooms tend to just kind of be a little waterlogged. And I kind of ripped off the root here. That's really the only, part you want to leave. So these have a couple pine needles in them, but again, it's kind of part of the fun. So we want to turn this on. There it goes. So you kind of turn them on medium, low. Put a little salt on them. And really don't walk away from this for too long because they can burn really easily, but these ones are pretty hardy. And the next thing I've been doing is actually with these black trumpets, you want to soak them. So it's like if you're cooking a dish, this might be the first thing you want to do. Just put them in warm water, just to rehydrate. And then what I do is actually peel them apart. So let me find one. Because they're basically like little trumpets, black trumpets. So like pine needles and dirt will fall into them. So they really want to be opened up like this. So just open them all up. again, you just want to lift these out. This broth right here that the black trumpet has been soaking in is actually really delicious, so it'd be a shame to waste it. So what I like to do is strain it. And just leave the dirt. And this is really good as like a base for a sauce. So as these start to dry saute, you can see some of the water coming out of them. Just tear them apart a little bit more too. We actually toss the black trumpets in here too. Okay, so you can see here most of the water is starting to evaporate from here. So what we can do now is add a whole bunch of butter, because all we're going to do for this pasta is have butter and salt, just so you can really taste the truffle. So you don't want to skimp on it. And a good way to tell when the dry saute is starting to be done is the mushrooms start to be a little squeaky. That's when, you know, most of the moisture is out of them. Really be careful, because if you let it sit even like 30 seconds longer after it starts squeaking, they're gonna burn, and it's just really a shame. Still a little bit more. Can't hurt. We'll put a little bit of this black trumpet broth in there. That's basically all we're going to do for that. I'm just going to let that cook a little bit and then make the pasta. Okay, cool. So the sauce is actually getting pretty good. A lot of liquid evaporated. And we have this nice salty, black trumpety, cauliflower mushroomy extravaganza, which I'm very excited about eating. And then pasta, you know, cook it. I'm sure you know how to do that. But I'll show you having me put it in. There we go. Uh-oh, making a mess. Well, cook it for as long as it needs to be cooked. And then we'll come back and put it all together. The pasta's about done. So we're gonna pour out almost all of this water. Let's save a teeny bit. Turn this back on. If you save like just a little bit of the pasta water, it's really a good way to help the sauce stick. And then this version is really just butter. What I always like to do with pasta is to, when it's done, cook it with the sauce a little bit. Just like 30 seconds. Just gonna melt this butter in here. Look at that. Black trumpety cauliflower mushroomy goodness. Okay, looks pretty good. Okay, cool, so I got tongs. Okay, so I've got some nice pastas there. So we have our truffle, which is the star of the show. So in an ideal world, we would have a mandolin or a truffle shaver of some sort, but we don't have that here tonight. And it's actually good because a lot of people that are watching this won't have that. So honestly, like a mandolin or a cheese grater, like really works. It's really just all about shaving it on top. And again, like if the truffle goes over 150 degrees, it loses its aroma, which is the whole point. So never like shave it into the pot and cook it with it at all, because it's really not gonna be good. So I'm just gonna shave this on here. If you do have a mandolin or something, it's of course like always beautiful to have those like little truffle shavings. Like being in Italy. And don't be shy with this. You know, like truffles don't really keep. Like if you keep them in the fridge for a week, they'll lose a lot of their aroma. So really, you know, they're to be enjoyed. Like, so really go for it. And there you go. Bon appetit.
This is so good.
Aww.